Cook, give us.
What up, guys? I don't have a camera.
Oh no! Look
Hey,
at
you look good.
It says the USB.
Yes.
Attached.
No, that's what it needs to be. Just because I plugged it in when this activate that old camera.
Oh!
Look at that. We're raring to go.
Pleases me.
I am not centered.
Put that camera down.
Changes every time. Hey, Fig, what's up?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another riveting session of Hot Button Co-op. We're your hosts, Power Keg Greg, an Angel Legend, aka Greg Merima and Eric Rollon. Today we're going to be getting into the paint. Power Keg Greg is running the show today.
Yes, I did some snooping around, and we got some stuff in the entertainment field, in the political field, and all in between, I guess. Well, not really. And some faith-based stuff too. It kind of intermixed and whatnot. What are we doing?
Go to missions, and then I will sign in.
Ooh, sign in. Sign in right now.
Oh shoot! I didn't even plug in my controller. That'd explain a lot of things. Well, good. Yeah, I saw Nick Ricade is currently on You Are Here.
Yes, anybody who's a fan of Nick, give him support over at You Are Here. Obviously, watch us. Don't watch them.
Yeah, tell them to send the traffic over here. We could use a few more views.
You plugged in?
Yes. All right. There we go. There's your sweet spot. Yes. So, anything new and exciting happened this week, Greg?
Like with me or just in general?
In general. Well, no, for you, specifically you.
Specifically me. I'm not exactly sure. Really? There we go.
Yes. All right.
I mean, I know like it was like there was a week or stuff where just not really fully working.
Oh yeah, because of the car issues and all that crap.
The car issues and other stuff too. Which, not to say that it was good, or that like some of the stuff was good, like like meeting up with Dave and helping out with that and stuff like that. That you always enjoy that feeling when it's like, okay, at least the schedule I normally have planned can kind of go back into the. We're all good. Oh, and Fig asks Eric, how's the meat diet?
Dude, the meat diet is, so far it's going really, really well. I was doing a little bit of filming because I'm documenting just the whole process right now, because I've never done a diet quite like this before. Big thing I noticed last night when I went to bed. Yesterday was my first official day just going 100% carnivore. Last night when I went to bed is the first night in, I would say, 4 to 6 years where I haven't gone to bed with at least a mild amount of stomach discomfort, like intestinal discomfort.
Yeah, your body gonna be adapting.
Well, it was weird because I was laying there in bed waiting for the stomach ache that I usually get when I go to bed, because when I was younger I was allergic to a lot of things. If I went off everything I'm allergic to, I could eat eggs, beef, celery. That's pretty much it. So I just
not actually a bad thing to be.
Right.
Bad meal to have forever.
Yeah, and I suppose fish too. But I've gotten so used to having that stomach discomfort that I was laying there in bed, and it took me a while to realize that it wasn't there, and I was like, whoa. I was waiting for it. It's almost like when somebody hands you a beverage inside a cup that you can't see what it is, and you think, oh, it's the root beer I ordered. You take a sip and it's Sprite. For the first couple seconds, your brain is registering root beer, and then all of a sudden your tongue goes, what is that? And you're like, it was kind of like that. I was laying there in bed waiting for the stomach ache, and then no stomach ache came, and I was like, this is all right.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's always good to feel that way. So did you actually find out like if you're putting your body in ketosis?
So I guess you do end up sort of in a ketosis state, but it's not quite to the degree, I guess, that people who are doing the keto diet, because you're not doing any carbs at all. So it's a little differently. Thing I did notice today though, waking up, like mental fog is already lifting. I felt a lot more alert, a lot more just ready to get going. I'm also finding that when I get hungry, it's not that gnawing, empty pit of your stomach feel. It's like a slow burn. Then even when I am hungry, it's like, okay, yeah, I think I could eat right now. It's not when I was doing a more plant-based, probably 75 25 vegetables and fruits to proteins, then it felt like I was just always hungry. It felt like I was eating all day. I've only had 2 meals today and I feel fantastic.
There you go. Yeah, I was at the doctor recently and he told me to lose a little bit weight too. Maybe it could just because of some anxiety coming in a little bit, because he gave me some Xanax.
Oh,
because we're kind of
a score.
We're gonna kind of try to see if maybe the anxiety is kind of fueling some allergy problems that might just meant causing it to be more severe than what it is.
Sure.
So we're kind of experimenting with that a little bit. But he even suggested to me more like of a protein and meat sort of food and stuff, like pretty much cut out all the bad crap, kind of get your weight down, which I pretty much knew. But it was like, but he even went so far to say like just do 5 meals a day, your breakfast, your snack, your lunch, your snack, and then your dinner, pretty much with the idea of by the time you're at dinner, you should be full enough to where it's like, I don't really need to eat it.
Yeah, it's an interesting kind of diet, because I've been going down the rabbit hole to look up all the different things that are allowed on a carnivore diet, and there's certain oils that you are allowed. Like you can do an olive oil or an avocado oil, no seed oils at all, so no canola, no vegetable oils either. You can of course do.
What about coconut?
You can do coconut, yes.
Okay,
coconut,
I actually like coconut oil.
Yeah, it's like the only 3 oils that are actually saturated fats would be the olive oil, the avocado, and then the coconut, and those your body is able to use. I have noticed that I've had definitely more energy already, just a couple days in, and I'm used to having a lot of lower spine, that sciatic pain, and that goes back to my track days. I threw my back out when I was in, I want to say it was either junior or senior year in track. I think it was senior year, and my back has been pretty messed up ever since. And so I'm already noticing less back discomfort. I also have a slight pelvic tilt, which I'm working to correct. So I typically will do 15 minutes of stretching in the morning, and then I'll do my workout later on into the day. But I was noticing that I didn't have that initial, because your spine stretches out when you're sleeping.
Yeah.
I didn't have that initial pain bending over in the morning, and then having it be there until your spine kind of compresses down a little bit to where it's not so stretched out when you first wake up. So it's been good so far. I'm enjoying it. It's definitely quite a change, and I'm being really strict about it. Kylie, she's doing really super low starches, and she's doing
it takes a commitment.
Yeah, she's doing a lot more protein, and then just a few vegetables, and she's you're fine. She's making sure and doing vegetables that are anti-inflammatory, like broccoli would be one of them, and then I forget some of the other ones. Peppers, I guess you have to take the skin off them and cook them. This is the thing, most of the peppers or most of the vegetables that are anti-inflammatory, you need to eat them cooked, because they have their own form of pesticides inside of them.
That's cool.
Yeah, I guess peppers and tomatoes are both like that.
Well, I saw online you were talking to Melanie Mack. Like, I just recently started following her and talking about that stuff, like big carnivores. So that she gave you some good advice too.
Yeah, no, she was real sweet. And I don't really know who Melanie is, by the way. Is she a gamer?
Yeah, she's a gamer girl. One of your based ones.
Oh, cool.
Which is cool. Christian. Really into that little stuff we like the conspiracy,
nice,
FLM and stuff like that. I reached out and see if she wanted to come to the Bible study. That'd be pretty.
Oh, yeah,
I guess she was a host on GameStop TV.
Oh, okay. That's
maybe where I never watched it. I mean, I never watched GameStop or G4 just because it was like there's certain. She seems legit.
Yeah,
like I feel like God's blessed me with a knack to know like legit people.
Sure,
and
right.
She definitely seems like one. And then plus she hung out with Brittany Venti, who hung out with Nick.
Oh,
that
yeah,
one time
yeah.
that was her. So, but so Eric. Oh, Fig says, Eric, you try adding turnip greens and spinach to your diet? I've been eating a shitload of it.
Turnip greens and spinach. So I've been noticing that when I've been eating, because I was doing some smoothies there for a while, lots of kale, and then sometimes you know you put the oddball spinach inside there. I would notice that I was getting a lot of upset stomachs, and I was also getting a lot of upset stomachs eating root vegetables like potatoes. I didn't tell you about this, I don't think. But
that stuff's gonna go right through,
dude.
Like, I'm telling you, it's good. Like if you eat certain stuff, it's going to actually. What happened with me? It will give you some cramps to where you might have to go, like pretty quickly.
Sure.
Sort of thing, but you're gonna notice that you're not gonna have a lot of stomach aches, and you're probably not gonna poop as much.
Yeah, because your body is absorbing all the nutrients.
It's absorbing it, and you're really. I mean, you're putting stuff in there that isn't going through your digestive tract. So actually it as I guess more medical, going down the medical route and stuff, like for people who may suffer with inflamed hemorrhoids or stuff like that, those will actually go away because you're not pooping enough to where where you might have to wipe and stuff. But of course,
Sure.
Obviously it's I've heard stuff too with like if you have inflamed hemorrhoids, like moist or like preparation H, like the wipe balls that are specific
Sure.
for that stuff, like a bidets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it'll help alleviate a lot of that stuff if anybody is suffering.
Yeah. One of the things that I'm finding to be really interesting is is how most of the research that I've been looking into on doing the carnivore diet has talked about the health that it affords for your brain.
Yeah.
And I mean, it makes a lot of sense when you get into the actual science of it. Our brain is a fatty organ, and so it feeds off those fats and such.
Dude, the greens literally go straight through you. Yep.
Oh, yeah, dude.
When you go on that diet, they will zip through you quick. And I can vouch for that because I did keto. I might actually carnivore.
Yeah, it's interesting because we're not gonna do, with the exception of a few things, if I know how they're made and know that they're made well, not gonna do any kind of processed foods. So probably not a whole lot of sausage. If I do jerky, it'll probably be jerky that I've made.
Yeah, jerky. Jerky is gonna be good. Keep down your bacon. You just gotta watch out for that high cholesterol, which I got a little bit of high cholesterol, but it'll go down in due time. Or you can just get like some cholesterol stuff that you just pop in.
Yeah,
it'll lower it. That's what I did.
Well, I'd seen a lot of people talking about how they did the carnivore diet and they had an initial cholesterol spike in the very beginning, but then after a few months of it came back down. It leveled
was
out.
it the bad cholesterol or the good cholesterol?
Well, I mean, if you think about it, it's
probably going to be a mixture of.
I mean, they call it the bad cholesterol. It'd be the LDL, I believe.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, the cholesterol itself isn't bad. It's just it's bad to have one super high and it's bad to have one super low. But I'm so far so good. I'm only a couple days in, but I do feel better. I feel less bloat already.
Yep.
And I was hearing people say that you stop missing certain things. And probably yesterday I had that sweet craving, and one of the things listening to a podcast with Michaela Peterson the other day, she was talking about that helps with that your lack of starch and those carbs to burn. She said that she started to supplement a little bit of honey, and that really helped to cut that. Yeah,
just watch out for that keto breath too, because you might develop a sweet flavor, which a lot of people say that's the sign of diabetes. The thing with at least keto, it does kind of put you in a weird diabetic thing. You just got to be careful.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Like talk to your doctor and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be going to get my my yearly physical next Wednesday, and then going to be having them check all my levels, make sure everything is good, and then just going to be tracking them.
Yeah.
From here on out, pretty much.
Good. You know who really needs to eat super greens? Bruce Willis. Yes, well, that is one of the things we were going to talk about, so I guess we'll transition it. So Bruce Willis has announced that he's going to be retiring due to health issues. 67 years old. He's been diagnosed with aphasia, which is a brain disorder that affects his ability to communicate.
Dang.
And
now,
so
communicate just verbally, or
I think so, yes. Like a little bit of communication verbally, maybe trying to get like thoughts out or something like that. I didn't really look into the disease that much, but I guess some of the stuff. So from what I read is that he was aware of it, and if you kind of paid attention to his life, you could kind of see how he was prepping for this, because he's been selling a lot of his estates, because as an action hero, he just, and having a chunk of change, he would buy just different spots all around town, so that when he would travel, he could just go to the place and
oh, that's cool. Lots of real estate.
Yeah, lots of real estate. Well, you know, since he kind of knew that this was coming, he's been selling a lot of stuff to where he wants to, you know, eventually settle down with his family and be in a safe area, which is good. But he did announce that recently, and I'm not sure what movie it was that this happened, but it was revealed that signs were kind of starting to be shown, because he had to wear an earpiece to hear the lines that he had to give and
really
stuff.
they had to feed him his lines.
They had to feed him his lines a little bit, and he accidentally shot a gun off prematurely. Didn't hit anybody or stuff like that.
Ooh,
but
geez.
obviously
Didn't pull
not.
a Baldwin.
Didn't pull a Baldwin, but obviously that sort of functionality.
Yeah, can't be having that.
You can't have that. So he has officially.
Wow. Yeah, that's like Mice and Men with a puppy. You can't have him petting the puppy to death.
Yeah, it says has to wear an earpiece. Yeah, sold the estates to downsize, just because he's expecting to pay less since he's going to be retiring.
Sure.
Wow. Yeah, he spent a number of years selling up to an astonishing, and I'm just reading what this article talked about, 65 million worth of luxury property. He's been
Lordy, wow.
I think a cumulative total.
So his net worth is probably like 600, 700 million?
I think he's going to be fine.
Oh, yeah.
Like, money-wise, but...
Wow. Wow.
So that's something in the entertainment industry that's up. You know, a pretty bummer, too, because Bruce Willis, I mean, regardless of the political... Looks like they got side that he side with. I think with Bruce Willis, he hasn't... I'm sure he has his. I'm sure he's on the left, but I never really saw him kind of getting really into politics or anything like that.
I'm sure he has his leanings, but
yeah, he has his lean. And I'm making a speculation. Like, obviously, I could be completely wrong, but it's just unfortunate that we're seeing the people that we grew up with, 90s and stuff, like pretty much phasing out, and it's really sad too. I love the 90s, and
oh, dude.
Anyone who says they would have a time machine and travel back in time and kill Hitler, I would say I'm just going back to the 90s.
Yeah. Go back to the 90s and invent Google.
Only link that is way too early. I demand that you retract that immediately. He says poor Bruce is going to have Sleepy Joe brain. Don't you dare compare him to Joe Biden.
Poor Bruce.
Well, I guess speaking of Joe Biden, he has been on a roll with being a complete fucking idiot. And I hashtagged Biden is EV positive, and EV is for electric vehicle. There's been a clip that I saw on Twitter that it's a video clip of him saying, quote, and this is promoting electrical, the whole electric side of things. A typical driver, and this is, of course, he wants people to give up on oil and stuff, because, I don't know, the oil industry. A typical driver will save about $80 a month for not having to pay gas at the pump if they just buy an electric car. So let's do some basic math here. So 12 months in a year, saving $80 a month, that's $960 a year people could be saving if they just switched to electric car. I did a little snooping, and the average transaction price for an electric car is $56,000.
Is that for a base level?
According to Kelly Blue Book,
Holy
roughly
crap.
10,000 higher than the overall industry average of 46,329. That includes gas and electronic vehicle.
Holy
So in
shit.
terms of pricing, an electric vehicle is the equivalent to an entry-level luxury car.
Oh my
And
god.
this idiot is telling us that we should just, why aren't we just buying electric
Come on,
cars?
man, save some money. Go buy electric. Get a Tesla.
And I, of course, made a tweet when I saw this thing. I said, I'm assuming we're going to be getting free cars, right? Or it's going to be made cheap,
Yeah.
you know, for the average folks.
Sure, right alongside our $50,000 of student loan repayment.
It just, come on, man, you save 80, come on, man, you save 80 a month if you just take that 500 a month car payment. Yeah, what a fool. It just goes, I mean, this just goes to show how, I mean, Joe Biden aside with having a dopey brain, it just goes to show on how delusional these people are in their reality, where they can just spout something retarded like that off.
Well, and we've talked about this before too, but it's literally the elites on the radical left side. They know that all this is a bunch of crap. They know it's totally crap, but they're just kowtowing to the over-emotional idiots of the world because they're more concerned with getting people in the seats when it comes to the Senate and the House and the presidency, that they'll say whatever they have to say just to secure the spots, and then when they get inside there,
They're not going to do it.
no. Or if they do it, it's all with the mind to either sterilize people,
Yeah.
incite them to violence against each other so that they don't have to actually physically kill us themselves, or to hit us with a disease that is designed to wipe out vast swathes of us.
And of course, the rhinos go along with this too.
Yep.
And don't have the balls. Well, I say don't have the balls. It's not that they don't have the balls. They're not going to stand up to this lunacy because they're all circle jerking each other too.
Yeah.
But this again shows, like what you said, they're delusional, and there's always a second hidden agenda behind it. And to me, it also can tie into the recent thing where the Democrats are just busting a nut over the fact that they signed a bill now stating that any sort of lynching will be a federal offense. So they signed an anti-lynching bill, which a lynching, I should have looked up the last time a lynching's happened, but I think it's been like maybe 40 years since the last known lynching has taken place. And I came to the realization that it wasn't, and they of course hit it over the fact of, you know, now the minority can feel safe and all that crap. But the truth of the matter is, I think I realized, is that they signed this bill honestly because when they get found out as being traitors, and with traitors you should hang them, they can then go to this law and said, well, you can't do that to me.
So this is removing lynching from being a viable option for capital punishment?
No, I don't.
Because I know there's at least one state that, or at least several states that still implement all 5 variations of capital punishment, lynching being one of them.
See, now this is where the due diligence of my research fails to stand up to par, because I just got so fucking annoyed over the fact of how stupid this bill passed that I didn't look further in to see. I mean, you're talking to a person who wants public execution back, and hell, even give me
a lynching in the
give me
square.
the guillotine and give me draw and quartering. I don't care, sort of thing. So I didn't look further into that. So it may not be, but I think it's for the federal offense.
Interesting.
Everyone, Fig and Don are asking, where's my free electric Biden car? I know, I never got my Obama phone. Where's my? I hope I get my Biden car. We don't know what they got down there. I'm not a biologist.
So
And there's only ever been 10 lynchings too. Exactly. Like
10 lynchings for capital punishment? Or just rando lynchings? Because
I want to say rando lynching is where Fig's getting at. I'm not sure though.
well, because back in the 1800s,
Are we supposed to just? Oh, we're supposed to guard these, right?
yeah, we just had to defend her lab. But there were a number of black lynchings, but there were also over 1,200 lynchings of white individuals, largely on the Republican spectrum, who were defending blacks and their right to be free and to vote.
I'm not actually surprised that that's the case, because we know
Over
that
1,200.
we know that the left like to rewrite history.
Oh yeah. Well, here's another interesting thing. Just because we're on the topic of capital punishment.
Well, I was gonna say from our hometown there was actually a lynching that took.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Wow.
Downtown. I could have. I think it's.
Was it a pedophile?
I don't think it was a pedophile. I'm not exactly sure. My dad told me about it once.
Dude.
But you know where the brewery is now, where the old...
Yes.
You know that corner piece? That corner building right at the edge? That almost is like, what's it called? The Daily Planet from Spider-Man,
Yes,
that like
yes.
corner thing. You know that building I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Supposedly that's where it took place.
Dude.
Like
all right.
from a couple floors above.
Well, I mean, they televise certain criminals lethal injections. I don't see why you couldn't offer a televisation of anybody's, because it served as a deterrent back in the olden days, and it would surely serve as a deterrent nowadays when you watch somebody's eyeballs balloon out of their head as they're kicking and doing the old death jig.
So I'm a fan of Saito Hajime from Rurouni Kenshin and his path that he lives by called Slay Evil Quickly. That's my path. Like, I don't care about injections. I don't care about...
Yeah, just get done.
Just one bullet, one bullet in the chamber, out in the back. Hell, even ask the person even ask the people who the guilty has wronged in something. You guys want to do this? And if they're like, no, you can go ahead and do it. And then just boom, and then just toss the body, in a burning or something like that. Like, don't even give them the acknowledgement of a proper burial, as far as I'm concerned.
You know what?
All in Minecraft, of course. I guess I should specify. This is all wanting to be done in Minecraft.
I want it real life.
I know.
I want a real life Minecraft.
Just in case the YouTubes get butthurt. But what were you going to say about capital punishment?
So I was looking up, just trying to figure out what forms of capital punishment were still used in terms of execution.
I know Texas has the electric chair still, right?
Yeah, I think Texas has either 3 or 4 of them, but the 5 that I've still seen in use, and some states actually have all 5 in play.
Yep.
You
Bring
have
back the guillotine. I agree.
Well, you have lethal injection, you have the electric chair, the gas chamber, firing squad, and good old-fashioned hangings.
Dude, firing squad?
Yeah, they still
Nice.
employ it. And most of the judges that I've seen, they'll just have the person do either the lethal injection or the gas chamber. But dude, you can bet if I was a judge and I had option to hang him in the square, absolutely. It'd be every Tuesday. Let's just empty out the Green Mile. None of this 12 years you're waiting for the possibility of parole. It's like, no. You cut those 5 people up and you left them in buckets and you made sure that they had to have closed casket services. We're going to hang you in the square. Your family won't get your body to actually bury. We're going to cremate you immediately afterwards, and we're going to dump your ashes into a septic tank. That's what I would do.
Of course, that brings up the dilemma of making sure that they were truly guilty and stuff
Gotta
like
break
that.
some eggs to make some omelets,
Yeah, that's true, because, funny enough, and we talked about this a little bit too, it's very interesting on how the Judeo community, way back in the day in biblical times, it's amazing on how their community had very little prisons, if not none.
Yeah, not until
in there, because not until the Romans came in, I would assume.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep. Because they were expected to handle it right now.
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah, because that's what pretty much God did when Babel happened. He disowned the nation, gave it to the principalities to for them to rule over, and then of course they thought they could be like gods too, and then they fell.
Yep.
Where all the demonic crap happened.
Dude, you bring up Biden. I don't know if you saw this. One of the stories I did catch this week is that there is now a policy that is being pushed from Biden's cabinet that has to do with allowing children to undergo hormone therapy and transitional therapy up to actual top surgery and bottom surgery before they've hit the age of puberty. There's literally a bill that is in the works to allow all of that insanity.
Wow, that's disgusting.
Absolutely atrocious.
Oh, and did you know, like, apparently it was National Trans Day or something, International Trans Day, or it was some weird trans day that I never heard of until literally today, when the or not today, maybe I think it was yesterday, to when Biden and stuff was like, of course we want to celebrate National Trans whatever, and I was like, oh, I didn't know that exists until now.
Dude, it's a total mess. And like, on top of that, one of the tweets I put out today was my little 3-parter. This is something that I find to just be maddening beyond comprehension, and that's the idea that so many people are of a mind to be so criminally foul, vulgar, and unkind to each other just so long as they can push whatever policy or idea that they want to see come across. It's like when you see, you probably remember this video floating around back when lockdown first happened for the coronavirus. There were these guys who a few months in, they were just tossing football around in a park by themselves. It was like 3 dudes. And this woman walks by wearing a mask. She's walking her dog. She yells at these kids for not having masks on, also for playing football together. And then she actually says, "I hope you get coronavirus and die." It's like, for the sake of a person claiming to have this moral superiority and wanting the rest of us to feel good, have our feelings taken care of, have our physical well-being taken care of as well, for the sake of all that, she's willing to tell somebody else, "I hope you get sick and die because I care about people's feelings and their well-being." Just that much. That's what I've been seeing happening so much. And I see this crap with the NFL. I will never willingly sit and watch an NFL game ever again unless they reverse all of this wokest, racist crap that they have inflicted upon themselves, the players, the coaches, the owners, and the viewership over the last handful of years. Because now they're demanding inside the NFL, they have enforced their own diversity hire rule now. And now, originally, I guess there was this thing called the Rooney Rule, where you had to make sure that you would interview somebody of a minority race to see if they were fit for a head coaching position. Well, now they are demanding that every team
has a token black person,
has either a minority person or a woman now on their offensive coaching team. They're demanding it now.
Sounds so fucking gay.
They just have to, not just that they have to interview somebody or be willing to interview somebody, no longer merit, but they just have to have a token minority or a token woman. It's ridiculous. And I think there was also a stipulation where I believe was they could hire 2 women and just forget having to bring on the token minority.
Yeah, like and subscribe for NFL bullshit.
Yeah, please. Yeah,
please like and subscribe.
F's
on how much you love that crap.
For down with the NFL nonsense, because like, if this, God forbid, this Supreme Court pick from Biden's camp, this Ketanji Jackson, gets pushed through.
I thought it did.
Yeah, it must have then, because I've kept up with the news too well.
I'm not sure if it did, because I don't actively look at the news, but I figured that would have been a big hit, and I haven't seen anything, so maybe it hasn't yet.
I don't know, but she'll always have that asterisk next to her name, not because she got it because of merit, but because she got it because she's a diversity hire. And for all intents and purposes, listening to her questioning,
hasn't been voted.
She seems to be a garbage human being, and based on her own answers, she is a garbage human being. Now, she's still not beyond redemption. You know, she could renege on all that, and she could dispatch with those cripplingly sadistic ideologies that she's holding to. But until she does that, I'm gonna say she's a wretched person.
Play evil quickly. Oni Link says bring back dismemberment by being chained to 4 horses going different directions. That's drawn quartering.
I believe the last one happened actually in.
That was in our psych, our sociology class.
It was like 1878 in, was it Louisiana or Alabama?
I thought it was 1956.
Was it?
I thought it was like not super. Okay, look this up right now.
Do the tape.
Class.
Yeah. So that was some interesting stuff to ruminate over this morning. Just. And I don't even know if you saw this, but what's his name?
Well, that's in. I was in France. Are we talking about the USA?
Yeah, USA. Oh no.
Well, I think you were. I don't know. I think you were right, but this is showing. I typed in USA, but I guess the sentence was the last passing upon 2 Irish Fenians in 1867, officially abolished in 1870. But it's talking about France.
Is there no link for quartering in the States? Oh, dude, I actually watched a video not too long ago on YouTube. There's a guy still alive who was a guillotine executioner.
Nice.
And I want to say that he said that he has executed by the guillotine over 200 people. It was really, really interesting, and they were interviewing him. He lives, I believe, in Spain.
What a baller.
Yeah. Wild, man.
Ooh, you suck.
Gotta duck go it, man. You gotta train out that
I heard DuckDuckGo's being a little bitch too.
Well, they've got their own diversity hire mess right now.
Supposedly Brave is supposed to be a good one. Well, in any case, you know who deserves a public lynching? Disney. Yep. Sleepy Joe promised me a winter of illness and death this year for us unvaccinated. I didn't even get the illness part. I know we've been lied to. Hasn't been voted yet. I already read that. Lefty replacing another lefty. I imagine it'll go through. Talking about who? LOL, says Captain. Rare Chevo.
Rare Chevo.
Let's see. So, well, I guess Disney got brought up.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the big issue that's going on. So, as we know, DeSantis has passed that
awesome bill.
Parental Rights in Education bill.
The H67? Or no, that's up in Canada.
Section... I think it's like Section 8 or something. And as we all know, and obviously the left are deeming it the quote "Don't Say Gay" bill, which
because they're retarded.
Well, I mean, they got to push an agenda.
Yeah, and there's nothing in there about that.
So Disney recently released a video saying that they're now trying to push for more LGBTQ inside the park, have more minority characters, gay characters. Probably going to be super retconning a bunch of stuff. And one of the CEO or something, she's like, well, as a person who has a pansexual child, and I was like, whatever, you're obviously abusing them, but I don't care. As you know, we're going to be doing this to show equality and all that bullshit. Well, DeSantis hinted that if Disney's gonna just kind of abuse this power they have, he might revoke Disney's self-governing status over this feud. So I guess for some reason Disney has this sort of power where they can be a self-governing
entity in Disney World.
And DeSantis has stated that if they're going to be going like this, we can just take that right away. And well, I say right very loosely, but DeSantis obviously being a huge baller, it's and
I want that boy from my birthday party.
And because of well, that was one thing. Because of the bill that he recently passed, apparently 2 LGBTQ parties, I wasn't aware there was more than one, I thought it was just one big entity, have officially said that they are suing the administration, saying that it seeks because the bill seeks to marginalize LGBTQ students and their family. Quote, this effort to control young minds through state censorship and to demean LGBTQ lives by denying their reality is a grave abuse of power, is what these people are saying, which I just had to fucking laugh my ass off on that. And the projection and self-awareness is like at least in the negatives.
Oh, dude,
if not more. I mean, I cannot believe that these idiots honestly think that they are being silenced.
No, because they know that they're lying. Because it's not about denying their reality. It's about not teaching sexual themed anything to kindergartners through third graders, and that's not a big ask. It's like, because you can't even process at that age. I thought sex was the kind of cake up until the time I was probably about 28.
So I actually did a little snooping. Ooh. And because for me, it brought up this idea that I hear a lot from people of that community, saying that I always knew when I was young, I always knew I was insert something.
Yeah.
So I did a little, I looked up
a map.
Well, a map. I looked at a geographic map, and I determined where all the gays are located.
They show up in yellow.
But I think it was a fairly recent new study. So, kids according to this, kids form memories around the 2-year mark. That's when kids start to form memories. However, they actually refer to this part of their memories as child amnesia because they're implicit memories. So it's little snippets of here and there that someone could actually maintain, like the memory we have right now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's from what I got, it's so jumbled up and it's so like mishmashed and stuff, you're pretty much not gonna remember it.
Sure, it's like out of sync.
It's an out of sync sort of thing.
Interesting.
So this sort of stuff, like when actually children actually start having memories like what we have, like what we can maintain, that is actually around the agreed age of 7.
Seriously?
Is when that takes place. Now here's the funny part. Kindergarten, the average age of when children go to kindergarten is 5 and 6. So let's take that into consideration. Some people have said that DeSantis didn't do enough at the bill. But it's definitely a start, depending on the age. So this all makes sense. So imagine a kid. They're trying to make the argument of, well, you're silencing these children who may be exploring stuff like that. One, no, you're not. These kids can't even remember half of this stuff. This just proves on how disgusting and influential these people are, because they are inserting corrupt memories into these people's brains to where it convinces themselves that, oh, I guess I must be gay, or I must be a trans, or I must be this. And I've also noticed a slight connection between sexual abuse and trans.
Dude, well, think about this too. It's like
transgenderism, but I didn't really go into I just thought that was a really memory, an amazing. And
well,
this is why
it's an
so
oxymoron for them, because it's like, we want to be allowed to teach our kids, okay, but you all say don't deny the science, trust the science. Okay, well, if the science is to be believed, then they're not even making memories anyway. So why are you teaching something that they're going to forget?
Exactly, and this is where I think it's so disgusting, is that these people know they are inserting stuff that can be harmful to them. So DeSantis actually did, I think, a really good thing with at least the starting age, but it just goes to show that that these people are not only lying, but they're purposely trying to literally brainwash kids into thinking this way.
That's
now,
disgusting.
in the end, I'm not all like, until you your sense of, I don't want to say sense of self-awareness, but your ability to pretty much, kind of like the age of independency, when when you're going through the stuff and you're knowing like that, and you can be responsible, I guess for lack of better terms, responsibility. You do whatever you want. Like, I don't care. Leave the fucking kids alone.
Yeah.
Because if you
if
you let them alone, I guarantee you, and this is the other thing they're terrified too, is that they know that these kids would default to what is correct, what is pure biology, male and female.
Well, have you ever seen the movie
Scientists should take all self-governing rights from all businesses. Yeah, I agree. I still thought a few in existence on a Oregon Bab school.
Have you seen the movie Blue Lagoon?
I have not.
So inside there, it's a very great movie. It's actually where the Nirvana cover where that little baby underwater comes from.
Oh,
but
yeah,
Blue Lagoon is a story where these two very young kids, they get marooned on an island. It's like a shipwreck or something. Their parents are dead. Whoever was on the ship with them is dead. They're now on this island, and they're like 7 years old. Well, these little kids, they have no idea how to fend for themselves. They don't even know what sex is. Like, no, none of that. However, as they're on this island together, like when they're on there for years. Like, I think by the time the movie ends, it's like 10 years have passed. Well, on this island, the two become curious about each other, and they do so at the age of puberty, where their sexual organs are actually developed. And it's like that standby that Ian Malcolm says in Jurassic Park, life finds a way. Well, the two of them end up having sex, and she ends up becoming pregnant, and then the baby's...
Oh, it's a male and a female?
Yeah, it's a girl and a boy. And then when the baby's born, it's crying, and she's like, I don't know what to do. And they're both pretty much naked throughout the whole movie, because it's like they've literally had to live fairly with very limited communication. Well, the baby starts to nurse, and it's like, oh, okay, I guess problem solved. The baby's no longer crying. But that goes to the credence of, if you allow kids to actually be, you give them the proper guidance morally and spiritually that they need, they will figure the rest of it out. Of course, you got to keep them within those bumper lanes.
Well,
but they'll figure it out.
It's the social. There's obviously a slight social construct behind it a little bit, and obviously an upbringing and stuff like that. But letting God's design go the way it needs to go, that it would. That this garbage would not happen. Well,
and when you see the statistics on how many people who end up becoming part of the LGBT community were abused at a young age,
abuse, or like the worst is the people who just do it as
exposed to something.
The worst is the people who like see it just as bad.
Yeah, well, because when you look at the stats of that, it's like, okay, the overwhelming majority of people who have converted to an LGBT lifestyle have done so because they had inflicted upon them an abuse that is contra to the natural human condition. And in response to that, if they didn't get help, they're going to, it's like the old adage, hurt people, will abuse other people. Sexually abuse people will end up either becoming man-eaters or man whores. It's really the nature of so many people inside even the Catholic school systems, who there's like the Catholic schoolgirl. There's the old story of her where she's so repressed, never really allowed to actually experience much life outside of her extracurricular activities, which might be a sport, or something that their Catholic school offers. Once she gets out of school, because she now has all the freedom in the world that she's never had, she goes crazy and she can't handle it. And suddenly it's not just partying, but it's like partying, taking multiple partners, sometimes in a single night, getting way too drunk, doing all kinds of drugs, because there was suddenly going from having no access to anything, now having unbridled access to everything. People don't know how to handle that. So you have to, as a parent, even Nick Ricada and I were talking about this. As a parent, every single one of us is indoctrinated. As a parent, you indoctrinate your children into hopefully a logical and wisdom-filled way of thinking and acting and being. As parents, you get to break your own children, as it were, because for all intents and purposes, we're just a bunch of wild stallions out there who need to be shown literally the ropes.
Let's see. Big says, if you think about it, if the pedos just stopped existing, we would have no more degenerate lifestyles. Yeah, I agree. But I think it's also that idea, and we said it, at least I said it last night, is that there is definitely a chemical imbalance that is taking place. And if you know that, you should, seek help immediately, sort of thing, and don't act upon it. It's the minute you act upon it and you assert that power over someone else that's when it becomes unacceptable. Because I think that's like kind of another type of morality of like, if you know someone's a pedo, like, should you just off them, sort of thing?
Dude, honestly,
sort of thing, if they have never done anything but you just know, or something like that. Like, yeah, I think it's definitely one of those questions where you have to ask yourself, sort of thing, because as a Christian, you're told to have that unconditional love. But when I see an unconditional love, it's that agape love of hoping that they find Christ, they find, they repent from their sins and their ways and stuff. Other than that, I don't care what happens to you in your life and whatnot, because I'm not wasting my time worrying about someone I may never see again. So why would I waste my time and energy, sort of thing? Hopefully God has found whoever and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, and even with the agape form of love, it's not actually an affectionate type of love.
Yeah, true. Very true. I'm talking. Yeah, I guess I didn't specify that.
No, but you used it correctly though, because if we are loving people honestly and loving them well, then you would look at a person who commits whatever sin, like, because we do know that while God will discipline sins differently on earth, they are all eventually punished the same way. It's like, okay, I'm not going to look at somebody the same way who steals a cookie one day and then rapes a 4-year-old the next day. It's like, okay, you stole a cookie, hey, I might tell you, hey,
your hand or something,
I might slap your hand away, I might give you a good firm verbal dressing down,
or a beating.
Yeah, or I might give you a plunk in the forehead. But if you rape a 4-year-old, I'm going to have to make you dig your own grave. Yeah, and exactly. They'll never find your body.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. That was just something too, because I remember at one point it was like, what was it? Was it you that when you did the voiceover class with Crispin Freeman, and he made the comment about it was when Iron Man came out? Did you make that comment, or was it in my art? There was something to where someone made a comment about when Iron Man takes out all those terrorists, and the guy was sympathetic towards the terrorists. It's like, what about their family and stuff like that? They're just, and I'm just like, and I was just like, the fuck are you talking about? They knew their choices they're getting into.
Yeah, it's like you decided.
What are you talking about?
You decided to get behind.
I'm not gonna weep over the families of a terrorist, because chances are they're probably
free now.
They're either free or they have the same beliefs and will probably follow in the footsteps. And hopefully they won't, and they won't act out on it. But
terrorist people terrorize people.
Yeah, the short term is execute Peter quickly.
Yep.
O'Neilling says, "Yeah, punch that Covenant tank." Back when we were fighting that. And then he also says, like when Bender becomes human in the Futurama episode. I haven't watched a whole lot of Futurama.
Dude, I used to watch that show religiously.
You see that episode he's talking about? I have no idea.
I don't know if I did. Was that in a later season? Because I was really super well versed with the first 4 seasons, because those were on constant repeat. I didn't watch too much of when it got renewed.
All right. Well, in any case, oh yeah, and I guess. Yeah, so that those groups that are trying to sue the administration, that it's the administration for passing that bill, said the United States Supreme Court has repeatedly affirmed that LGBTQ peoples and their families are at home in order. The state of Florida has no right to declare them outcasts or to treat their allies as outlaws. Well, you have no right brainwashing kids to think that they're trans at fucking 3 years old when they're not.
Dude, did you see
eat
that?
A bag of dicks.
Did you see the interview where that school teacher, that gay school teacher, was calling them his kids?
Wait, what?
There was a school teacher who was like, "How am I going to talk to my kids now?" When
oh yeah. How about you leave your personal life out of it? Why the hell? That guy should be fired immediately. Because why are you talking about your personal life to kids?
Well, also, why is he calling them his kids? They're not your kids, man. You're taking liberties with somebody else's children that need not be taken.
Hey, if you notice one of your students is getting beaten at home, you report it. Other than that, shut the fuck up and follow the curriculum.
Yeah.
To end the quote, the state of Florida has no right to declare them outcasts, they never did, or to treat their allies as outlawed by punishing schools where someone dares to affirm their identity and dignity. They are not affirming their identity and dignity. You are bombarding them with lies to make them affirm. I hate this.
Well, also, it's not even about that. It's like, hey, look, little kids don't need to be learning about sex when they don't even know how to make a solid pizza in under 45 seconds while playing that block game that everybody loves to play on Xbox Live. What is
I guess O'Neilling says it's a what if machine shorts from that episode from the original seasons. I
don't remember that one then.
LOL. Fig says some LGBTQ educators in Florida are leaving that profession after the enactment of the quote "Don't Say Gay" bill, according to NBC News. Good.
We don't need them in there.
Good. Go. This is what I don't get. Just go to the states that you know support this crap. Yeah. Why well, we know it's a rhetorical question I'm asking this because we know the reason why.
Well, or if you're a gay teacher, just how about you teach the damn class and leave all the other garbage behind? Like
because they don't not about the craft to them. It's about.
Well, back when I was in high school, I was part of chamber choir, and I was also part of a vocal jazz group. And
gay.
Yeah, dude, super gay. But my
I was in theater.
My vocal jazz teacher, as well as my choir teacher, were the same guy. His name was Mr. Jones. Awesome dude. The man, he is an out gay man. However, when we were having our choir rehearsals and we were doing our vocal jazz rehearsals, it was about the music. He didn't sit here and tell us about his time with his partner over the weekend. He didn't tell us about what he planned to do when he went to go on his vacation over the summer in Barbados with his boyfriend. It was, no, we're here to do our singing, we're here to work on the songs that we have, and you don't need to know anything about my life. mind your own business, as it were. Like, what happened to teachers doing that? You know, a kid says to you, hey, what did you do over the weekend? Mind your own business. All right, please turn to page 84. We're getting into fractals.
Damn it. Missed.
Let's do that.
Here, turn him around. I got a shot.
Get him.
Boom.
Get him. Get him. Oh, no.
There we go.
Now
I can't tell my class about my boogie board vacation with my gay boyfriend. I know, right?
Yeah. Oh, I
It's like, oh, heaven forbid, we made not passionate love one day. What's 2 + 2? Where's my apple juice? I knew shit about my teachers' personal lives. Oh gosh.
Same. I didn't know anything about them. It was like, why do I need to know?
I know.
Even when I was going to a Christian private school, it was like, hey, Mrs. Laureate, what'd you guys do over the weekend? Nothing. I cleaned my refrigerator. Oh.
Is that what she actually said?
No, that was the kind of response I would get from her.
I thought that would be funny. So I guess tying in with that you brought up that one sap who's sad he can't share sexual stuff with kids at school. There was another article that happened where some two married lesbians are suing a clinic. Get this. Suing a clinic because they wanted to get pregnant.
Oh, I heard about this.
They got the embryo. They attached it to the person who wanted to be this. What would that be? The surrogate mother? Is that what? No, surrogate.
Well, it would just be the mother.
Or I guess the mother. And it was a boy embryo. And because it was a boy embryo, they're suing them because they wanted a girl. And she went as far to say that while she was having that child inside of her, that she felt like she was being, quote, raped. So, can you imagine how disgusting are you that you look at that child and you hate him for the rest of his life? That is pretty much what you are saying right there. Yeah. Because you compared to him growing inside you of being fortunate to have someone give you a sperm to have your baby because you don't want to do it au naturel. They hate that kid.
Yeah, and now when he finds out that she's said all this crap.
Yeah, and you can never ever try to convince me that, well, I guess I was just extreme at the time. No, you hated that kid because it was not the way. This is what these people see these kids as. They're commodities. They are dolls for their own pleasure that they can bend and mold whatever unfortunate, meat bag that they want them to. It is absolutely disgusting. And these,
sad.
I know these people they need to be shamed into oblivion. I'm sorry, but they need to be shamed.
Definitely shame.
Forever.
Definitely. Shame is such a powerful tool. Because I did see something just before I left, actually, about she was talking about nursing this little boy and saying that she purposely wore clothes so that he couldn't get at her breasts to nurse, and that whenever he touched her, she would get shivers because all she could think about was him being inside her was akin to being raped. At that point, you're unfit to be anybody's mother.
That's
be
what
sterilized.
I don't get. Why can't child services be called and this person taken away? Because she's straight up admitting, you hate this kid.
Yeah, and if they believe that words are actual violence, then take the little one away. Give him to somebody who cares.
Went to the same school for 14 years, so I knew everything about my teachers. Well, we grew up in a small town, so word of mouth traveled a lot.
Yeah.
And with me, both my parents were teachers, so I couldn't get away with anything in class because it would get back home, and it, for a lack of, in the end, it was actually a blessing because I was actually on good terms with a lot of teachers.
Yeah.
And stuff. But of course, when you fucked around, my folks found out quick.
Yeah. It was also probably good that we didn't know, because one of our teachers, Chad Rand, turned out to be an actual pedophile and went to jail over it.
Well, and he helped me with the school project. Nothing happened. That was the weirdest day ever. One of the weirdest days where I had to go home and my dad actually had a serious talk with me, asking me if he did anything. I was like, no.
Yeah, that was.
I guess you could say my homophobia, I guess, as the left would probably
turned him off.
Well, yeah, I guess my homophobia saved me.
Yeah, he was like, I was gonna fuck that Merriam kid, but his intolerance toward gays was really a dampener.
I guess it saved my life. I guess. I don't know. Well, I'm saying that this is how the left would probably label me. I count it as a blessing, I guess.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that Merriman kid, I was really working him, but
he just refused my advances.
Yeah, talking about having a fag drag and all this stuff. I couldn't have it. I couldn't be party to that.
And of course, this was like, you know, late. This was like early 2000s. So it is terrible. It's early 2000s. So of course, we're saying the most heinous things in high school.
Oh,
no one cares.
Exactly.
No one cares.
You
the only
call
people.
someone a fag if they were acting like little soy boy.
Yeah.
Hey, shut up, faggot.
I mean, we've all bullied people, and we've all have been at the blunt of bullying. And it's like,
yeah, we've all been the butt of jokes.
Yeah, you can mature. Get over.
Exactly. It's like the Bible verse says, when I was a child, I thought as a child, I spake as a child, I behaved as a child. When I became a man, I had to put away those childish things. And, you know, we crack jokes here and now, of course, to bring levity to an otherwise tough week in the news. But, so to say, you have to read the room, you have to know where you are and who you are, what you espouse to believe and who you serve. At the same time, don't be so uptight that you can't handle a joke.
I guess I will say as well. I guess I will take the compliment because I guess a lot of gay people have hit on me.
Dude, oh yeah, Jaime, boy, that dude wanted you. Oh yeah, Greg.
Worst part was being a Christian and knowing that I was against it. I don't get it.
Oh man.
Like, I think I do get it. You ever hear like gay people where it's like, oh, I could make that guy turn away?
Yeah.
I think it's definitely that mentality.
Challenge.
It's that challenge of I can break you, which is weird because I don't go around thinking, oh yeah, I can mentally break that person that I want. Wow, you fucking weirdo.
It's like, why do you want to go and try and confuse some dude sexually?
Oni Link says, dude magnet. Yep, I was a huge dude magnet.
Oh yeah, that's where he got his nickname Munkin Pimpers from.
Which I don't get it, because that was like the most angriest time of my life. So I don't get why anyone would want to be attracted to me. I was a straight up psycho.
They were thinking that you were like old St. Patrick with this giant hammer, wailing on people.
All I did was wail on a wall. So much that I busted my hand through it. Friendly reminder, CPS is basically another human trafficking organization. That boy could turn into a woman NCAA swimming superstar. I know.
Oh.
We are just filled with possibilities now here in 2002.
Dude.
So that's, yeah. So I guess that was a big clump of everything. We'll go ahead and we'll wrap up the political stuff that I found with this last one. Good old Maxine Waters.
Lay it on me.
So Maxine Waters was present at an event where at some point, and I think it was passing out brochures and stuff for the homeless and stuff. Well, a bunch of homeless people started just coming, and it started to become chaotic because the people couldn't maintain them. I think like her security thing, whatever. From what I remember, I didn't write that down, but I'm pretty sure that's what the article is. Here it is. Section 8 housing vouchers. So a bunch of homeless people came together because they were salty because the social media inaccurately, shocking, right? Inaccurately was reporting on the Section 8 housing vouchers that were being distributed. So they were getting on her and on her nerves so much that she told them that they all need to start going home. And these homeless people respond by going, "We don't have a home. We don't go home to anywhere."
Wow.
And she responded by saying, quote, "Excuse me, there's nobody in Washington who works for their people any fucking harder than I do. I do not want to hear this. No, no, no."
Wow.
And that's all I had. And I guess all I can say is, you're a bitch. And, you are a prime shining example of human trash that apparently, again, do not understand what you're doing with your policies or anything like that. Do not understand, because
That sucks.
and it's really becoming to the point where, like, it's because they do not get, the mainstream media does not strike down hard on them, like, because unfortunately the rhinos have let it happen. Well, I take that back. The rhinos are letting it happen. The people who actually aren't rhinos aren't coming down hard enough.
Yeah, and they're also letting it get too far out of hand, because that should have never happened. She should have been checked into oblivion way back.
He was definitely giggling when someone shouted out that we don't have a home. Oh, guarantee you she was laughing, because again, these people don't see these people as humans. They see them as checkboxes, as commodities. These people see them as, do what I say, vote for me, and we'll give you what you want, and it never ever comes.
Wow. Y'all need to go home. Hey, how about you give us a home? You and your Section 8 housing.
Yeah, I know, right?
Dude.
So that was pretty much the political stuff I got, and I'm sure more coming down the pipeline. But again, it's just this insanity. And this was something that I was watching.
Can I even hit this one?
And this kind of will stir into the the entertainment side of stuff, but I guess it can also tie into the news outlets as well. I think we need to start getting. Oh, I guess this is something we can. Did you see that Daily Wires has started a new program called the Daily Wire Kids?
Yeah, they're getting into cartoons and stuff?
Where they're getting into cartoons to teach good conservative Christian values, which I think brings in a good point that I feel a lot of people don't realize on how much power I think we do have, and that is the power of alternative media.
Yep.
Now, I think there needs to be a hybrid of both. I think there's actually a lot of people out there that if people say, hey, we want to start fundraising this, now of course you're going to have to go through the checklist. You're going to have to find someone that won't be a bunch of GoFundMe cucks and back out because they don't agree with your ideology, so we're canceling stuff. But I truly feel that a lot of people are fed up with stuff, that where if we can start building alternatives, a bunch of stuff, I think people will gather. I think people want to donate to that stuff. That's not to say to 100% stop with the mainstream stuff, because we got to step into that. Like, the sad thing is we're gonna constantly have to step into that fight. But I do think that we do need to have a lot of alternative sources to where people can go to, because we know the script. Why isn't he black like in the TV show?
Dude, so I watched the new Halo Infinite.
We bring back the cultures of the 90s and 2000, or a Captain. That's it. And this is the thing, and I've said it before and I will say it again. And I think it actually goes beyond what I say too. There's a reason why these disgusting slobs are retconning things back from the 90s, from the early 2000s, just infiltrating and infesting all the stuff that was good during those times. And I will even say, even with the rosy skin glasses, where we might be biased just because we felt it was good, because these people do not want this to exist, because they are prone to rewriting history to where every time you look back into the past, they are always portrayed in the positive. This is what they're doing, and it needs to stop, and we need to fight it.
Yeah.
Which I think we are. I think a huge wave is coming. Yeah. Because I think even for what everything is happening so far, I think they could have done a lot more damage if they didn't take the pendulum and swing it back really hard. I think if they kind of would have carried that momentum coming back, I think if they possibly could have done a lot more damage what they're doing. But I think that they actually potentially, but I think they jumped the gun a bit by swinging it back super hard, because now we're going to be swinging it back even harder.
Yeah. Well, and also you think about this too, when it's like, okay, what's the answer to creating a show on primetime on a network that's not yours, that is super popular and well loved? Typically, you'll make a derivative of that
gasoline
show.
And I'm sorry.
You'll make a derivative of that show, and you'll pump out your version of the kooky couple next door, or the 4 weird smart guys and the hot girls who they end up marrying. It's something like that. You see a lot of derivative kind of things inside entertainment. Well, it's like, what do you do when you see a bunch of leftist maniacal propaganda being pumped into just about every single outlet for media, whether it be movies, shows, cartoons, and even books.
Dynamite.
Well, yeah, dynamite. You have to
Gasoline.
go. You gotta go and make your own. You know, they said, hey, make your own social media platforms. Okay, well, that was done. Well, you don't like this, make your own content. Okay, well, that's being done too.
Well, the thing is that I think what a lot of people, and I think a lot of people are starting to do this, but I think a whole lot of people are still kind of worried about doing it but they need to like push back hard against it. They just need to call it out, because we know their script. We know the script that they do.
Sure.
Is anytime any sort of alternative comes up, they're instantly just gonna say it's white supremacy or it's the alt-right. It's insane. We know this. We know the script they're gonna be pulling. So I'm of one of Bugs Bunny mindset too. Fight fire with fire. If they're gonna come around and say you're a homophobe, then just say, well, you're a heterophobe. So where are we getting at? You know, where are we going from here? Because, you know, I got a lot of facts on my side. You don't. Sort of thing. You know. Let's see. Aragon the Red says, y'all, the mouse, all hail our overlord Mickey, has gotten their mitts into anime. They claim zero censorship, which tells me it's going to be all censored in Japan and given to Disney or kids show.
Dude, Mauschwitz needs to stay out of that game. They have no business.
Well, I think it's what you talked with Nick about too. I think Japan is paying attention to what's happening, and if they're seeing on how woke Disney goes, aside from like, what is it, Miyazaki, right? I think a lot of them may not want Disney to have their hands in stuff.
Oh, I can't imagine that they would, because they still have a shame culture where you work for the collective. It's not about just being that individual who goes out there and shines so bright, outshining all the others. It's like, no. You have, oh, your controller came disconnected. Or is that my controller? Whose controller? Somebody's controller. What happened? Oh my gosh, I'm so mad. Yours?
I don't know. I don't even know why it's mine plugged in.
Because I plugged it in.
Oh,
well, I'm sorry.
I just have batteries.
But,
there you go.
All right, yeah, resume it. But, what was I saying? Oh, no, I don't think they do. Because, yeah, if we here in the US, we have literally gone from, as the cycle of nations goes, you go from slavery to freedom to
abundance.
No, not freedom to abundance. You go from freedom to prosperity to abundance to complacency to dependency back into slavery. We're at the complacency part right now, and we're so spoiled over here in the West that we don't even have, like, our issues.
Thumbs up for the best ending.
Our issues is just like, oh, my Uber delivery guy here with my food is 4 minutes late. Now I have to rewind my.
I'm always early.
I have to rewind my TiVo or my Hopper here to catch the beginning of the show because I guess I'm just so flustered that I couldn't have my burrito here at the same time it was starting in real time. Okay, that's your biggest gripe. Well, there's people overseas who still have to fight off guerrilla armies trying to come in and steal their children and conscript them into fighting and raping and pillaging. It's like they have problems, and it doesn't downgrade the fact that we have problems too, but a little perspective goes a long way to motivating people to recognize, hey, the problems that we have presently really aren't that big compared to what most of the world is dealing with. It's like, oh no, you're gonna go and get all bent out of shape now because somebody misgendered you or called you by the improper pronoun, and then that's going to what? Dictate how you live your life for the next year as a total depressed sad sack, having to fight off cutting yourself down the lane every other day. It's like, no. Back in the 40s, women were literally tying a bandana on their head, rolling their sleeves up, and riveting together tanks for the war effort. And now we got gals who want to throw up every other kind of what is it, layover or overlay on their Snapchat filters and their Facebook filters and their Twitter filters to take those awesome selfies doing a duck face where you stand in front of a plate of sushi that they didn't even make. It's like, really? There's such a disconnect from what we once were.
Pig says the entire
time. So time. I gotta see how far we make it here. All right, lone wolfing. Here we go.
Oh well, I can't read the comments if we're gonna try to dive.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can. You got time right now. You can read some.
So everyone dies?
Oh yeah, everybody.
I don't remember playing this, so it's been a while.
Yep. Send me out with the buying.
But why did we die?
Because we had to stay back and use the Mac cannon to take down that big flagship so that they could get Cortana out of there. If we were playing in Legendary, we could actually fly to Cortana's birthplace in that last level.
Oh, that's cool. So everyone, who are we again?
We are one of the members of Noble Team 6.
We're Noble Team 6?
Yep.
Okay. And they all die, yep. I'm assuming?
Everybody died.
Oh, that sucks. Big pretty much says all the entertainment at one. People are begging for good content, which is true. I think that's where a lot of people accumulate together, create that environment to showcase that good content can still be made, but also gatekeep a part of it too. Where the minute where it starts turning into, well, you need to do this because insert political thing that's starting to arise. Oh, that's very nice. We'll take it into consideration, and after they're gone, after they're gone, we're not working with you anymore. Go.
Yeah, sit there right in the trash.
Because you're caring more now about the social platform of it than. All right. Well, I died.
No, they killed you, Greg. No.
Problem with that is the left doesn't care about hypocrisy or being wrong. Yep. Remember, alternative facts and moral correct versus factually correct. Well, that's what I'm talking about. The thing is that we know their script and we know that they're just gonna go and pull that bullshit out of their ass. So as far as I'm concerned, just meet it with more. There's times where you just gotta meet it as super extreme because these people melt under that pressure. So the minute they see that, it's like they don't know what to do. Again, it's the thing that I always said, like, we've seen the weirdos and the Nazis and the Antifa and all that stuff. We see them burnt down, like the stuff and whatnot. These people have no clue that if the people on the right did something like this, there would be bodies upon bodies piled up if people took it to that extreme. Alas. Like, these people don't get it at all.
Sorry, son. They got us.
Weak men, hard time cycles. Time to change history right now. You have any idea how much money we can make now? The potential is highly insane.
Oh, dude, yes.
Good content equals that's what I'm talking about. And I feel like people are scared that they're going to be met with opposition.
Oh, they will.
And you will, but I personally don't think it's not going to be like, the founder of My Pillow sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because he was very, very, very vocal, which that's fine with him and whatnot. But I think there's something to be said for when you put on a showing of I'm here because I care about the craft, not about the politics.
Yes.
And if someone asks about the politics, maybe give them a little something here and there, whatever, if you so inclined. Other than that, you could even just say, I don't care. Don't bother me. Like, get out, sort of thing. And, one of the oppositions is going to say, well, silence is condoning. It's like, no, it's not. Fuck off, sort of thing.
There are times when, even Proverbs says it the best.
We better start cranking out our own anime. That's what I'm saying, man.
Yep. Proverbs says, a fool gives full vent to his spirit, but a man of strength and wisdom quietly holds it back. and you hold it back until it is absolutely necessary to vent. But even when you do, it's in a controlled and it's in a focused method. You don't just go all willy-nilly half-cocked. Like you have focused, select moments.
I guess unless you're willing to I guess if you're willing to accept the consequences, if you want to go all Punisher mode or something like that.
Yeah, you gotta be willing to go do a nickel in the joint. Hey, we made it 4 minutes and 30, or I made it 4 minutes and 30 seconds thereabouts, somewhere.
Very cool, very cool. Better start cranking out our own. This is a perfect tie-in. Eric's Japan rant was spot on. Some mangaka are obviously going to be lured by a bunch of zeros from Disney, but some of the big creators, like the Love Hina creator, have been warning. It's just so funny because the people who claims that they're for diversity and stuff hate the craft that they're in. It just baffles me on how stupid how fucking delusional they are. But that's a rabbit hole going down. We'll go ahead and we'll take this time to actually tie into something. Yeah. So Vic Mignogna, for some people that may not know, if you're first tuning in, involved with the law case, got Me Too'd, I personally think unfairly, and then whatever happened to the other people, out of it. But strictly speaking, between Vic and Monica and Jamie and all that stuff, the two whales stories don't add up. I'm more convinced on Vic's side than anything. But that's neither here or there. So these people cannot stop hating on Vic. Like, the appeals have been going on, I think, coming up to 3 years now. And these people cannot let go of whatever Vic does. So Vic announced, I believe 5 days ago, and he just got back, I think today or yesterday, that he's going to Moldova.
Okay.
He wants to go. He wants to go and help out the Ukraine refugees.
That's awesome.
So immediately Kick Vic hates on him.
He wants to go help.
Mocking him for only being there for 5 days.
Oh my gosh.
Saying that he's stroking his own ego. And to the point where they started their own fundraiser to showcase that you could have just stayed at home and raised things instead of having to physically go there. These people don't understand that some people aren't pussies that hide behind keyboards. They actually like to physically do something and go out and do it. Now this is the part where I got confused, because they're claiming they raised $7,000, but when I went to their fundraiser, they only made a total of $700. So I'm confused of where they're conflating that sort of thing. But that's the point of the matter is they purposely did the fundraiser not because they actually care about the refugees and the civilians that appeared over there. Is they're caring because they hate someone so much that they want to showcase that they can do something better. Again, going with that idea of, we will decide how you should spend, if it's good enough, if you've done enough, XYZ. And I immediately thought of Luke chapter 18, 9 through 14. These people are the Pharisees to the fucking T. And for those of you that may not know, Judeo-Christian Gospel of Luke, on chapter 18, verses 9 through 14, Jesus gives a story about there's two people that go and pretty much are paying their tithing to God. One of them is a tax collector, and one of them is called a Pharisee, which is the religious leader, or a person who knows the scripture well enough and teaches it to the people, sort of thing. So the Pharisee puts on a show saying, Lord, and like everyone can hear it. They're putting on a show. He puts on a show saying, Lord, thank you that I'm not like all these sinners around here. Thank you to the point that I am not like this tax collector, and specifically points to the tax collector that Jesus is talking about in the story. And for cultural reference, tax collectors were seen as the worst of the worst people because they worked for the Romans, which were the enemies at the time, and they pretty much were turning in Jewish people to the Roman authorities and getting money for doing so, and also skimming money off the top. That's what they were known for. So in this particular story, the Pharisee is putting on a big spectacle amongst everyone, saying how awesome he is that he donated his and I think it was the bare amount, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it was like they gave an excess because they just had
wealth
they gave to give.
Okay, they gave an excess because they had wealth to give, but they're doing it to showcase on how better they are of everyone else, and going as well as mocking the tax collector. While the tax collector doesn't even approach I guess you could say the pulpit or the sanctuary. He doesn't even go inside, but throws him down south, saying, "Forgive me, Lord. I'm a sinner. I don't even deserve this." Like, and pretty much Jesus, you know the phrasing. Well, can you say it for me? Because I don't want to misquote it. I'm bad at. He says,
the Pharisees they pray loudly, so that all can see them. It says, however, there's the tax collector off to the side, beating his breast, saying, "Lord God, have mercy on me, a sinful man." And he says, "Which one went home justified?"
There you go. And pretty much the moral of the story is the tax collector went home justified because he knew he knew the sins that he committed, and knew that he couldn't, like, pretty much no amount of tithing could technically make up for the sins he is, and just ask God to please forgive me. While the tax collector, or excuse me, while the Pharisees are putting on a facade that I did just enough, please, please God. You can't make God love you anymore, by the way. That's a false misconception that the progressive church will try to bestow upon you.
Yep.
But I just immediately... Oh, are you writing me?
You're writing on top of me.
Oh, whoops, sorry.
You're fine.
I was like, that's awesome. But this just goes to show that these are exactly what these type of people are. And you're going to be seeing that a lot with, people who declare themselves as Christian and stuff. But it's just unfortunate that these people cannot leave Vic alone with anything because they hate this person so much, and they have to make sure that they are right on, like, social. But I thought that was something that was just pretty pathetic, pretty stupid too.
Yeah, it's a bad look all around. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
It's like, what did they get out of it?
Also, I don't think I did, but Vic actually matched his plane ticket, I think, with donations, and donated a good amount. I'm not sure exactly. Awesome. I'm not sure exactly what he did, but the fact of the matter is, folks, is that you determine on how much you give, and you don't let anyone else tell you that it's not good enough or whatnot. It's the fact that you're giving is what counts. And actually, a lot of blessings and stuff should be in private between you and God, no one else. That's why you don't let these people try to tell you.
He actually says, when you give, don't let your left hand know what your right is doing. Says, but do it in secret, and your heavenly Father who sees in secret will reward you. And it's like when people they do that. It's this self-aggrandizement that people get into, where they're like, "Oh yeah, check me out. I did this, and this." It's like, okay, you did that, and that. What do I care? You're acting like a buffoon about the whole thing right now. What does it matter to me? You did this awesome thing, because now what you're doing is you're essentially rubbing one out in front of everybody to show everybody how awesome you are. It's like, wow, don't break your arm patting yourself on the back there.
Yeah, which is what these people like to do all the time. We got some comments here. Let's see. Read about what up, guy? I read about Eric's rant. Censorship since 2018, and have even gotten into politics to save their products through legislation and losses. And Gron, Vic is making a massive killing at cons. That's the thing. They're gonna try to say he's not, but he is, because people don't want to see these lying fatzos. Did someone say Rod? Hey Rod, what's up? Rod! Have I had my own anime studio, I would hire Vic in a heartbeat. Definitely. All of them are holier than thou while being closeted or open pedos and abusers, heretics posing as true believers. And then he says, Rod says, is this Alien Hominid? It sure is. We have officially finished the Master Chief Collection. We have zipped through the entire Halo series, aside from Infinite.
And 5.
Oh, and 5, but I don't think we can do.
Well, I mean, we'd have to play on like our own consoles, but we could do it.
Wait, they don't have split screen?
No.
Well, that's stupid. We could do it, but I think. But yes, we decided to do Alien Hominid just to wrap up the stream here as we're winding down. But we have determined that next time we will be doing Metal Slug. Yes, I have Metal Slug Anniversary, and that is going to be a hoot and a holler. So,
as fast as I can get my arm to go.
Oh, you're just
just fury,
just
fury,
pure
shooting.
fury. But yeah, just something. Just because I thought we would actually beat Halo at the ending time, which we have half an hour left, I misjudged. Luckily, we had Alien Hominid. We had some other stuff too. We could have played Alien Hominid, or what was the other one I had?
Cuphead.
Cuphead. Yeah, we had Cuphead on your thing.
Woo, woo. Oh.
Wait, what's up?
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, heck yeah.
But B. Oh, what was it? No, we're not offline. I mean,
we have 30 minutes.
Oh, I guess.
30 minutes.
Oh.
We'll be out.
Okay, we'll be out soon. Sorry. But yeah, we'll be doing Metal Slug. Ooh.
Dude, I would be.
Sure. Yeah, I'll take it.
Awesome. Well, thank you, dude.
Thank you, dude.
Much obliged.
Roommate Zach blessing us with some protein beverages. Dude, you get like the most insane stuff, I swear.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Appreciate that.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Oh god.
Oh, is it electric? Oh my gosh.
Oh dear lord.
Oh no. Rise up, Ultraman.
Oh my lord. Lord have mercy. That's insane. Yep. Dude, Zach's awesome.
Oh my god.
Dude, he just gets the most
slain here.
insane
Oh my
stuff.
god. I'm getting killed.
Burn the
Greg.
heretics, kill the mutant, purge the unclean for the empire.
Oh my gosh.
Those halos don't count anyways. Sorry. It says
Holy crap.
yeah. It's a good thing we have infinite lives.
Do we?
Yeah.
Oh, we do.
No, we do. Why wouldn't you?
I don't know. Because I remember Alien Hominid being really unforgiving in GameCube. Oh my gosh, I am getting my insides.
Well, this is Xbox, baby, and either that or I beat the game enough to where I did get a game over. Never mind, I'm a liar. Good luck, my friend.
Oh,
Hats off to you.
thanks.
Cuphead is pretty good, but I don't think Greg can handle it. He would get so salty. I played Cuphead. I played Cuphead with Eric. And Angron says Elden Ring co-op stream. The salt must flow. I think I am planning on getting Elden Ring because I do have money from my birthday still.
Dude, this
and I know people.
There's too much going on here. Let's chill it down with some Cuphead.
You want to chill it down with some Cuphead, where they purposely make it harder when you're.
Hey, I can just hold the trigger in this one.
True,
I don't
you
have to
could
sit here
hold
and wear my forearm out. I mean, it's
Big says, you guys want to voice my anime that comes out in 2033? Absolutely.
Yes.
Hit us up. But we'll go ahead and we'll continue. Oh, happy belated birthday, Greg. Oh, thanks. It was March 16th. Yeah, don't worry about it. It was a rather chill day. Did we hang out? I thought we did. We did. We had some whiskey. Oh wait, I gotta.
Oh yeah.
I don't know where we are.
Let's do that.
I'll let you.
Do the 115% one.
But we do have. I do. Let's see.
How do you join
well,
me? Push start. Yeah.
There we go. I've joined. Okay.
Taking it back.
And what am I?
You're Cuphead.
I'm red.
You're the red.
Red one. Oh, sorry.
You're good.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm confused at what we're doing.
Don't you worry. Hit B.
Okay. Okay, sorry. I'll let you go. Well, I'll save this last one on something new. But we talked about the Will Smith slap, I believe, last time. Did we?
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't. Okay. The Will Smith slap, Chris Rock average stand-up comedian, I would say. I don't I don't see a whole lot of comedians, and I don't care for a lot of them. There's some that are good, but Chris Rock, I'd probably say average. Made a joke to Will Smith's wife, G.I. Jane joke, pretty much implementing that, you know, she has a bald head, obviously had a disease that she just can't grow it again, right? Is that what that is?
Yeah,
or
it
comes in patches?
It's alopecia, right? So her hair's coming out, and it's like, I think she just shaves it now because
she shaves it and then wears a wig and stuff.
Yeah.
So Will Smith, funny enough, laughs at it. His wife then confirms that it was actually insulting. Goes up to old Chris Rock and then slaps him, and then kind of play it off, and then clearly Will Smith is a broken man.
Oh, dude.
To fly off the hinge at a joke that's wasn't really that funny.
Yeah, like.
But
because that slap wasn't even about the fact that Chris Rock pulled one over on Will's wife. That joke was all about the fact that Will has been cucked by his wife.
Yes, and I think that's the funniest thing that I think that's the funny thing that I find hilarious is we all like he's a cuck. Like Will Smith is a known cuck. Now don't I have to? How do I?
You gotta do the double jump to land on him. Oh dang!
I'm not.
We are bad at this.
Well, I'm trying to talk, and
it's all right.
Which isn't really an excuse, but anyway, so slaps him at the Oscars. Truly if it was any other person, I might side more. I thought it was staged. Because it seemed too weird, because I just felt that they knew the Oscars is gonna suck, and I almost kind of felt it was staged, enough knowing that they think that this would help bring in some traction or something. But I don't think it wasn't staged.
Get me, Greg. Nice.
There we go. Get me. Yeah. Oh yeah, we have a special, don't we? How do we do the special?
B. Yeah, it's been a minute. I was like, how do I do that again? Oh.
Wife, she's a timeshare at best. Yeah, exactly. So, I thought that slap was probably the most beta slap I've ever seen. Like, if you're gonna be slapping someone, I want it to be that old school meme of that huge buff guy at that gas station that just bitch slaps that one dude and knocks him out cold. That's what it should have been if you're gonna be slapping.
It's like a Mike Vallely slap.
Yeah, I know exactly. But I should not have picked Chaser. But so this just goes to show on how, again, delusional these people are. So he slaps him, and I guess at that point the police were on site and ready to arrest Will Smith. Chris Rock stopped them to do it, and this is by a producer that was from the Hollywood, from the Oscars. And then Chris Rock stopped them. So they know that he did some act of violence, like actually assault. And they don't do anything. Because Chris is black, pretty much. And you gotta showcase You gotta showcase that, that they're woke and they love everyone and stuff. My favorite is people who there's people out there screaming that this is a prime example of white supremacy, which I don't get how it plays into any factor at all.
Yeah, I don't even understand that.
It's hilarious. So I guess after the slap, the Academy of Motion Pictures on Wednesday, so this past Wednesday, pretty much went to Will Smith and asked him to leave after hitting him, and he refused to.
Wait, they asked him to leave
at
the Oscars?
At the Oscars after the slap, and he refused to.
Dang.
Just said, no, I'm not going to do it.
Wow.
And these are the people that want to, spread. Okay, I don't like.
I need to change my dash here.
I'm gonna do spread, and then shot B. Medium range and good. What's kablooey? What are these? I don't even know what these are.
We got charge one. What is
Black privilege? Will, can you just leave, please? No.
Will,
He seemed to
please
not want to do it.
go.
It was very non-committal, like Jada.
Why?
Why? So Eric, when are you gonna start your own anime? Says Fig.
Dude, at me. Big. We've been talking about it. We've thrown around the idea of starting up a studio.
I don't see why we're not.
There's a lot that goes into it. We got.
I don't get. Wait, why is this?
So hit B, and then you got all those things you want.
Oh, I'm dumb. I want that to be.
You got it.
Spread. That to be the speaker.
That first one's the best one.
Yeah, energy beam, which is what was that? L1.
B.
Or LB.
B. Or for you, it might be LB. I don't know. I'm not sure. Hey, you got it. There you
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, all right, we just get him this time.
No, give me an Oscar and say, yeah, and you won an Oscar. But I was trying to find this. So this is the main thing. The Academy's Code of Standard, which was updated in December of 2017. This is definitely a game not to be looking at notes.
Dude, heck yeah.
But I'm going to be doing it anyway because I'm badass.
Yes, you are.
So the Code of Conduct got updated in 2017. In the wake of, conveniently enough, the Me Too movement, asking its members to behave ethically and uphold the Academy's value of respect for human dignity, inclusion, and supportive environment that fosters creativity. So what Will Smith clearly did was not any of the Code of Conduct.
Yeah, no, he violated
and
all
he
of
gets
that.
to stay there because he's privileged. And for all acts intents and purposes, all these people are privileged, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it was honestly it was a gross display, and you think about who could make jokes back in antiquity. I've heard a lot of people even mentioning it. Even Dave Landa was talking about it yesterday on Crowder, but back in the old medieval times, you had the jester. The jester was the one who could make the jokes at the king's expense, and he was untouchable. He was the only one who had actually.
How did you do that move?
That was B, a hit.
Okay, am I just not charged up then? I'm confused of why I can't do it.
Maybe you changed your. Maybe yours is RB, or maybe you changed your button layout.
Okay. Well, in any case, no matter what I figured, pretty sure making your own anime is not as easy. It would be a Western cartoon, no matter what the art direction would be. I mean, people nowadays argue that Avatar: The Last Airbender is a Western anime, so
I call that a pseudo manga.
A pseudo manga or pseudo anime, I
like
guess.
Totally Spies.
So whatever. It baffles me. Like, these people talk about inclusiveness, watching out for people's feelings, and there was a poll taken, I think. I'm not exactly sure, but I saw a poll was taken and people were siding with Will Smith about slapping him, about slapping Chris Rock.
No.
Now, one of the things I couldn't find, which I saw on Twitter, and I should have saved the article or whatever, but I read somewhere that they're actually considering of stripping Will Smith's Oscar, taking it away from him, which I think they should, because if these people want to showcase that they're inclusive, that they uphold tolerance and they don't condone violence and all that stuff, then you need to take that away from him. You need to take that away from him. But the thing is they're stalling this out so much that it's like, you can't take them seriously. I mean, when could you ever take them seriously? But you can't take them seriously because they're not acting on it.
Yeah, it's strange because like we already discussed, the slap had nothing to do with the joke. The slap had everything to do with Will Smith being a broken man and finally snapping, like just coming undone.
So shot A, equipped. Shot B, equipped. Pea shooter.
All right, look at your button layout. Let's do that. Hit B.
Okay. B.
Oh yeah, sorry. Controls. What you got there?
Player 2. I go to player 2.
Yeah, you're player 2. Nice. So jump is A,
jump.
X is shoot.
Which weapons? What?
So yours is B. Yeah, that's the Megan.
Huh.
Big shot.
How do I?
Let me change mine real quick. Sure, I got it.
What if they go to Japan to make it? As far as I'm concerned.
Go ahead.
As far as I'm concerned, going off of what if they go to Japan and make it, if there's any sort of Japanese involvement, I don't know. I feel like you could call it an anime. I don't know. I don't know. If like well, technically, could you even call an anime even though it's from Japan, even though Koreans actually do a lot of the keyframes? Now we're getting nitpicky, but whatever.
I don't
Will tears in his eyes, and I took that personally. It was the most pathetic joke ever. How could you take it personally? Big says, Eric, I've been working on an anime in my head for over the past decade. I already have the beginning, middle, and end already set up. I've just never could translate from brain to paper. Yeah, I mean, that's my struggle too. Whenever I have an idea, it's definitely motivating yourself to take action on it. A lot of stuff can.
Oh. Dude, I gotta change my controls. I don't know how to change it.
Here, just let's go to the map.
Yeah, let's
Do your thing.
gotta figure out how to do this.
I remember the argument started up with Tenjo Tenge came out. It was almost exclusively animated in Korea. I don't know. Worst idea possible. Japanese creator would be pissed if some Ganjin decided to muscle in on the territory and they would keep out hard. Japan isn't as foreign to us. I knew that, but I'm sure there's some foreign friendly people in there.
There we go.
I don't know.
And then
I don't know. Hopefully that they would enjoy the story, that they would be like, hey, we want to create this. Be like, okay, cool, let's work together. But
right?
I'm not saying trying to muscle in or anything. But oh yeah, the Will Smith slap, that's kind of like the stuff that's been going on right now, and there's been tons of memes and stuff. I'm just shocked that a lot of people think that Will Smith was in the right.
Oh,
my first reaction was because I was like, yeah, why, dude, why did you slap Chris Rock? Like you're an asshole. But then part of me was like, this has to be staged because this is so abrupt. But then the more it came out and him screaming, keep my wife's name out of your mouth, which I think actually Ricky Gervais actually, like, someone asked him what he thought his opinion on it was, and he did exactly what you said. If it was Dave Chappelle, he would jump on and be insulting him right away.
Oh yeah,
I just thought it was funny.
Ricky went hard on him.
Yeah, but I don't know if that article was true. If Will might be that the Academy is considering what is with the hearts though? Like, you got a bunch of cards. Does that mean I'm not hitting
little
them
pink
enough?
things right there. You can parry by double jumping on top of those, and it's like they give you a card immediately.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm just not building up my cards enough to do my thing.
Oh, don't shoot him! Don't shoot him! Crap, we heard him. I guess we can leave him be.
Oh, and just
Yeah.
Little
crying onion.
Oh, that's now I remember. Okay, so you're supposed to jump on the
Salty
pink
little potato.
tears, right?
Yeah, or anything pink you see. No.
Okay, whatever.
I couldn't get you, Greg. I'm sorry.
That's shocking. There's people who still believe Juicy smelled it. Yeah, I would import Japanese animators. I want Japanese games that never made it over here that we could somehow get over here. This is why I support ROM hacking and translations, because there's people that translate games that never made it over that are amazing, and US consumers have never seen it. White Knights, people think Will was in the right because woman offended. We've taught men for decades to always defend a woman's honor. But that's the thing. That's why I think if it was anybody else but Will, maybe I could justify it.
No, the thing is Will, he had no reason to defend Jada because Jada is an enemy to him.
Yeah.
And it's his own doing, because they declared back in 2019 or 2020? Yeah, 2019, that they had an open marriage. So it's like,
He's been hammered on. He's been at the butt of the jokes.
Yeah,
of all that stuff.
He's probably stepped outside the marital bed just as she has, and they talked about it at their little red table talk. So Will, he's at a point right now where Jetta,
I'm gonna change my.
She absolutely is his enemy.
Change here.
Change your weapons.
Oh, yeah.
Push LY.
Oh, sorry.
You're good. I don't think we have anything left to buy. We probably bought it all. Yeah. Out of stock. Yeah, push Y and you can switch it up. Because after she did him dirty like that, and she talked about how she hadn't felt all right for so long, and that was partially why she slept with her son's friend. It doesn't exactly inspire any kind of sympathy towards her on any part, because it's like, no, you stepped out of the marital bed clearly here, and now you're trying to lay this essentially at Will's feet as though it's his fault that you decided to step out of the bonds of marriage. It's just a very, very dark look. And so Will snapping there, like, he was laughing at her with the joke there, because he has no incentive to try and defend a woman who has stepped outside the bonds of marriage just like he has. Like, she has no reason to try and defend him either, because they both have done it to themselves. And it's why you cannot share the love of your life with somebody else. It does not work, nor should you even try to. Like, there's a reason why we're supposed to be men of one woman, or a woman of one man. Like, we're not supposed to go mucking around in somebody else's territory, and we're also not supposed to give anybody else credence to get around in our territory either. It's really, really unfortunate the way it all played out, and it only makes him look weak. And I'm sure he didn't want to look that way in front of everybody, but you know, you freak out at the Academy Awards because you can't handle the joke because you're pissed off at your wife. You have only yourself to blame for that, Will.
Big says, I'm convinced Will killed Tupac. Kylie Stewart says, I'm eating bread and drinking wine, feeling fat and sassy. Jada's a narcissistic, crazy person who lets her kids do whatever. Will doesn't need to tell us on the doll where Jada touched Jaden's friend. Oh yeah. Pure scum. And then Will was one of the MAGA men out that night when Jussie got attacked. This is MAGA country! Yeah, boy! Well, I guess to end on a very sad note, that's what I like doing.
Wonderful, wonderful.
We'll end on what's happening in the old Marvel DC. Well, I guess technically DC.
I missed it.
So according to, I think this was Screen Rant, I read this. So newly cast Supergirl actress Sasha Kelly is playing a character called Kara Danvers, which is pretty much Supergirl, but not Supergirl like, I guess, the cousin of Superman. But the important thing is that because of this new character, they have determined that they're going to be replacing Henry Cavill's Superman with her.
Wait. They're replacing?
Yep, they are retconning Henry's Superman in place of this person as the DCU's last survivor of Krypton. So in this new reboot timeline, the Kryptonian villain Zod supposedly kills Cavill's version of Superman as a baby. And from what I read, she's apparently the cousin of Superman, and you know,
I don't like any of that.
Yep.
That sounds terrible.
Yes, indeed. So, yeah, this again goes back to what I'm saying about
they're ruining everything.
Exactly, and this is where I think
and they're proud about it.
This is where I was delivering today, and I was sitting there, and I was thinking to myself, because when I was like kind of doing some research and stuff like that, I said, again, I'm like, they're retconning everything because they want their version to stand out. But I'm beginning to slowly think that may not even be the case anymore. I think they purposely wanted to make it bad. The question is why do they want to make it bad? Is my thing, because I don't understand what benefit they gain of taking I mean, unless that they just keep bombarding all these retcons that conservatives just give up and form to their way of thinking, and then the elite is in charge or something like that. I mean, I guess that could be the case, but I don't get this.
It hurts my heart.
It hurts my heart too. I personally think it's still the original plan of
Oh, I crashed into it.
it's the original plan of wanting to retcon so that the future generations only think of their version and don't bother going back in history to find out the truth of where, you know, all what they enjoy and love and stuff comes from them.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting whooped on already. Oh my god, I'm dead already. Look at me die. Look at me now. Hater, you're getting fatter. We're on that cotton candy batter. Ooh. Yeah, it will. At least, have they said that this is? They did say it's supposed to be an alternate universe, right?
Well, it's the new reboot. I don't think it's a new universe. I think they're rebooting it to make it to where, like, Caval's Superman never existed. I mean, even if you could argue that it's an alternative universe, they're gonna push it to where this is the true one. You know they're gonna do it.
There is a possibility of that.
I mean, but this is what all the articles I was reading are saying, is that they're getting rid of Henry's version of Superman.
It's really disappointing.
Was Mugman drinking himself?
Yes. He was. Just a little
Only
parched.
says, what the fuck? So why don't we just make our own Superman? Who cares what DC? That's what I think. I think if you have enough creativity and do enough transformation, you can get around the copyright.
Oh yeah.
And you can just tell them to eat your ass if they try to do anything. just make Meatwad from Aqua Teen Hunger Force Superman way better. Oh, dude, I'm already sold.
Yeah, I don't even want to hear the plot. I just like that
I'm
idea.
sold, baby.
Yeah, give it to me. Can we have it now?
Greg, think. They need a high EGS score to get that BlackRock investment money. That's why so many companies have gone to shit. Dude, it's the principalities behind it too.
How is it that the pharmaceutical industry is just taking over the world? He's like, okay, this is crazy.
You're not a patient, you're a customer.
In America, we spend over $3 trillion a year on healthcare. Isn't that crazy? Because we're sick. The food that we're eating is designed to make us sick and to kill us.
Yeah.
Like, it's not designed to keep us in good health at all.
Communists must get rid of the four olds: culture, ideas, custom, and habits. Culture is basically dying, and ideas are already being attacked. Very true. Very true, but I have faith that America can pull it out. But
it's dark. It's like
you're just now you're like, as you know, as us as Christians, we're just waiting for the end times to happen.
Makes me mad. Like, I just want things to be fun again. Why? What happened? Why is all the fun
They don't
dead?
want fun, because fun is a form of oppression. I guarantee you, someone out there will argue that it is, because they're retarded. It is pretty crazy how the U.S. medical system works. It is, and I mean, we'll be the first to tell you that socialism is not the answer.
No, it's for figs.
And you're getting fucked every day by the institution that surrounds you. I just never understood why, you know, one of my biggest things is, why can't they have really good health insurance and I live in Texas, which I do. Say I move back to wherever, or I move somewhere else for a little bit. Why can't I just use my Texas health insurance like elsewhere? That's what I don't get.
Good questions.
Like, that's something I think that should be fixed. And of course, make it more affordable and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think if it was open border, I feel like a lot of things could work as well.
Well, did you see? I guess there's one thing that
I don't look into the whole thing because I don't want to get into that headache.
Well, there's one thing that I saw recently as last night that seems like it's going to be a good idea, and that's that they've capped insulin for the month only costs $35 now. It's like it's not allowed to go higher than that because it's been costing people,
yeah, like 600 something,
exorbitant amounts of money. Especially when you can go just over the border into Canada and get it for pennies on the dollar. It's like, how much money will make you happy, Big Pharma? How much money will make you happy?
Or pay.
Watch out for the cons.
I don't know. I'd
no,
argue.
Couldn't get you. Oh.
It says, I don't know. I argue socialism is not that bad. U.S. unhinged capitalism would do nothing for its citizens in the long run. The thing is that the left, when they give examples of capitalism, it's not capitalism. Like, this is the part where, like, I'm not delved into enough to argue the whole capitalism sort of thing.
Capitalism it's a great setup because capitalism demands not just competition, but it demands people to not be lazy, because the only way that you can actually get ahead inside a capitalistic society, if you're a business owner, is you have to make a great product that people want, or you have to offer a great service that they want, and you've got to remain competitive with inside your field, otherwise nobody's going to buy what you got. So
I do agree with that, and I do think that, you know, obviously there should be, you know, people should have, anybody should have the opportunity to start their own thing and stuff like that. And, obviously if it doesn't sell, it doesn't sell. But there's this argument that, you know, like, oh, only with rich white people can start up a business because, you know, they'll easily get grants while they're garbage like that.
That's a cop out for anybody who says it. It's like, really, you're so done in by people that you don't even know.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I
don't know, but there's prime examples of people who do have socialism, and you go over there and you talk to the average person and they hate it.
Oh yeah, well, it's like when you see anybody who came here to escape Cuba and the socialism there, and then they come here and then they hear that, oh no, you've got crazy leftist wackos who are trying to implement that. They're like, no, that's why we left that wretched place. That's why I floated here on a door when I was 6 years old with only 2 gallons of water that was actually fresh to drink, because I had already done my pint of salt water that day, choking just to get aboard that door. It's criminal, Greg.
What's up?
It's criminal, Greg.
It's criminal. Yeah, okay, if we want fun back, it's up to us to bring back that 90s, 2000s culture. Everyone has fun and don't give a fuck. Exactly.
Absolutely. Little bit of LFO. Little bit of, I like girls who wear Abercrombie and fish.
When all the houses are owned by corporations and everything you has a price on it while salaries don't go up, doesn't sound that crazy to me. My thing is Big Daddy government giving me X amount and stuff, pretty much controlling me. That doesn't sound crazy to me. So that's why I'm not with socialism.
Wait, somebody trying to make an argument for socialism or against it?
Rod, I think, is trying to just point.
Oh, devil's advocate.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you believe socialism, that's fine. I mean, it goes to the whole fact of. It doesn't sound. The problem is the American left. If anything, the bipartisan system sucks. I mean, I don't think initiatives should instigate, but I also don't think there should be that many homeless people in the richest countries in the world. The thing is there are always going to be homeless people. You like that's the thing that the left don't understand. They got to accept it. Even the Bible says it itself. There will always be homeless people. And I think what the problem with the left is that they are terrified that people will not help out the homeless, which is 100% not true. That's why they go around saying you need to help them and we will decide how much you give them. The fact is no, if we made the money ourselves or whatever, even with the whole argument, like someone back at work would make the argument, like a lot of these rich people, they didn't get that money, it was given to them. Well, too bad.
It's like, okay, it's still not your money.
It's still not your money.
Yeah.
Like, you are terrified that you think these people are not going to pay these people well enough, which actually a lot of people do.
Yeah, the problem with socialism is that it is a form of ganging up and stealing from those who have to give. It's like, just because we all
it's mob rule and daddy government determines how to distribute it.
Yeah.
No,
just because 30 of us gang up and say, hey, we're going to steal Greg's money, does not make it suddenly virtuous to do so, and it doesn't make it okay to do so. We're still stealing Greg's money. The thing also with socialism is that it removes the onus on a person to actually take personal responsibility for their own goings on. It's like, it's up to you to go get your job. If you don't like your job, get a different job. And to say that we have to have equity in which every single person is paid the same, then you're going to have people that leech the system, just like happened with the gulags back when you had the Gulag Archipelago get written. You had everybody pulling from this pool. the ones who got pushed the hardest were the farmers who had to make all the food for everyone. And then because you had a huge lazy sector that wasn't producing anything, but they were still taking from that whole pie, you had these ne'er-do-wells came inside there and told those lazy ones, hey, those farmers actually took what was yours, you should go take it back. And so they went and stole everything from the farmers. Those farmers got put into gulags. Anybody who spoke out against, in opposition of this crazy machine, got put immediately into the gulag, where they were tortured just about to death, having to do menial labor day in, day out. Unfortunately, it's an unlivable way to do it. And not that it doesn't come from a good place where people say, oh, we should be able to share. Yes, that would be wonderful in a perfect world. But because people are going to, just like inside unions, they're going to ride the clock while one guy does the work, 9 other guys stand around and do nothing. And then when those guys are put up to potentially be fired, rightly so, for not doing anything, then they go to the union steps inside there to say, how dare you go and fire these guys? We're going to bring a lawsuit against you. And they try and strong arm employers. It's a pathetic way of being. The only way that you can actually make a go in this world and have anything that you call your own is inside a capitalistic society. But it requires you to not be lazy, it requires you to be honest, and it requires you to hold those around you to the same standard.
Yeah. Well, we are beyond 9 o'clock. We are 5 minutes after. We'll finish up these comments here.
Oh no. Oh well.
Angron says, socialism is an authoritarian's wet dream. We already see some hospitals saying they won't treat unvaccinated patients. Now imagine if the government could take away your home job and insure it for wrong thing.
Yep.
Rod says, but Cuba got an embargo by the US. If all the socialist countries suck so much, why does the US always mess with governments? Me personally, I don't think unhinged capitalism is good for anyone, period. Pig says, capitalism is a market insult. It's actually called the free market, but you already pay taxes.
Yeah,
that's Rod. Not everyone likes the taxes. There's actually a lot of stupid taxes that I don't think people should pay.
Well, plus they hit our nation will hit those governments because they're expecting those governments to loosen up their grip on their people, but they're also hoping that the people will be uncomfortable enough to arm themselves and go wrest their freedom back from a tyrannical government. You can only do so much, and it's like if you approach a people group who is unwilling to fight for themselves, there's no amount of motivation from your end that will make the outcome for them being liberated worth it in the end. Because if they're unwilling to fight, then they're going to be unwilling to work even after they are freed. So for the people inside Cuba, that's why you see them coming here to the US in droves, and that's why they did so heavily, even back during the Cuban Missile Crisis, where we put very heavy embargoes on things and we put these very heavy stipulations and sanctions on them. Well, unfortunately, Castro and the rest of his gaggle of douchebags didn't get with the program and actually lighten up on their people because they were more concerned with being a world power in the arms race.
Angro put some stuff. Those embargoes were due to mass genocide like Castro's death squads, park assassins like Castro or Carlos Jackal, human right violations, embargoes and sanctions.
Free market,
Rod,
like you said, their fig is the best.
I don't know, dude. Doesn't sound like the U.S. should wave its finger at anything concerning their crimes in the Middle East, but I don't want to create conflict. There's no conflict, man. This is the whole point.
Yeah,
you can talk about whatever and whatever. And not to get on you or anything.
Yeah.
I just feel we are all privileged just by owning the tech to be around here. Plus, Castro kicked out Americans and took their property. Not everyone has the same start. Angron says, life isn't fair, Rod. Yeah, sometimes you get raw dogged by life and get the HIV. But also imagine instead of paying rent to a corporation, you buy a percentage of your wages to have a home and amenities that they could come in and take whenever they find.
Yeah, that's
that they could lie and just say, oh, we got to take this back. I want to own my own stuff.
Yeah, that's the problem that they ran into inside Russia, in Soviet Russia. That's what they ran into inside Cuba. That's what they're running into now inside areas in England that are under Sharia law control.
We'll just wrap it up here. Me and in general, I want to own my own stuff. I don't want to essentially just be renting out stuff from people. I'm sorry, and it goes back to me where it's just like, I just give me the availability to do what I feel like God's called me to do, and I'll pay my fair share. Now, obviously, you can make an argument and determine what fair share is, taxes and stuff, but at the end of the day, leave me alone. Sort of thing. The government for the U.S., honestly, and it's not perfect, but the U.S. government is literally your Christmas decorations that when it's time to pull them out, you pull them out, you put them up, they solve whatever problem you're in, and you shove them back into a box and put them in the corner.
Yep.
That is really what the U.S. government should be, but it's not.
And the reason that we have so many laws and so many business related laws and taxes and different systems set up here inside the United States is because the founders expected that in order to have limited government, you have to have much more internal government. But because so many people here inside the US have so little internal government, it requires much more external government, i.e. the DNC or the GOP or the Tea Party, who will never ever have power. Let's be real there. But the last little bit that I'll say on this whole thing is that when it comes to your worldview, and when it comes to you being able to do what it is that you want to do and be able to earn as much money as you absolutely can inside this life, the idea that gets put forth through socialism that gets born of communism and then fascistic regimes is that their idea for you is that you will own nothing and you will be happy about it. It's like when you look at a streaming service, we could go out and buy movies, but why do we have to buy movies? We can just stream whatever we want. We don't own any of those films. We're essentially renting them from them. So we're happy that we have Netflix, but we don't own any of that. We don't have to take that home and put it on our shelves at the end of the day. You have to have something that is yours, and that comes by having a personal investment in what you do, and taking the steps that are necessary to ensure that domestic tranquility that we talk about inside the preamble to the Constitution, not just for you, but for your posterity. Because the person who doesn't leave an inheritance to his children's children, by definition inside the Bible, that person is less than an actual real man.
That's the thing I don't get all these complaining about. They get so upset when they don't deserve that money because they just inherited it. It's like it's not your business, first of all. Second of all, I want my grandchildren to be happy.
Yeah, I want to be set up
and be comfortable. Who doesn't want that? But again, for me, it's the whole idea of I do not want anyone at one point who come in and say, hey, I know you paid this percentage and we gave you all this stuff. Well, you're starting to think a little differently. You got to think this way now. If not, we're going to take everything away from you or send you away. Yeah, that should never be in case for anybody. That's what I don't want.
Yeah, and that's the big easy that's now hitting people who own huge pots of shares within companies. Is they're now going to be taxing people, or they're trying to tax people on unactualized wealth, which is why Elon Musk was so smart for selling off so many of his shares, because they want to tax him on just his shareholdings, which is like, this money technically isn't even in my hand, it's inside the accounts that I have put this money into. I'm rich on paper, but I don't have that money in my bank account.
I understand, Rob, that you want everyone to have a fair life. The sad thing is there are going to be people who will unfortunately get the raw end of the deal. It's how you, and God even says, like, it's through them that God can be displayed to other people. It can be a shining example of people rising from the top.
Yeah, it's like when they were going to the temple and
that's what
they passed that guy.
The guy.
Yeah, they say, well, who sinned, him or his parents, that he was
but there
born
are people
lame?
who can't even go to school. Should they be condemned to be screwed by the system and the protection? See, now for me, and I don't want to, this is going down a long rabbit hole, and we're beyond the time, but that right there to me, and obviously nothing against you, Rod, or anything, nothing against anyone. No. Like, it's so great that we're having this conversation.
Yeah, seriously, this is awesome.
That is where I think the fear is. Yeah. Because you are so terrified that people cannot go to school because the system is going to screw them. I think that's something that is a lie that's created. Yeah. Because no one will help these people. There are people who will help these people. Yeah, and you just got to find them.
Yeah, and for some people, like Greg said, some people's journey is going to be much tougher than others. I mean, you look at somebody like Harriet Tubman, who had to free herself, and then she went back and freed thousands. And what she did when she was leading people across the Underground Railroad, if somebody had a second thought and went, no, I want to turn back, she didn't just let them go. She personally drew her pistol and killed the person on the spot, because there was no going back once you made the decision to be free.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Who wants to see me get really salted in Elden Ring or Elden Ring? Yeah, 'cause I'll probably get the game. I kind of want to get it physical, but I probably will just get it digital. I try to avoid digital just because I like a physical copy. But whatever. I have means to get. But yeah, we're gonna call it for tonight.
Yes.
Great conversation, guys.
Seriously.
You know, thank you, Rod. Thank you, Angron, Don Wanderer, and a bunch. Fig.
Yeah. Also, please don't take our passion as us trying to be mean or cruel or unkind. We just get like you guys. We get amped up about talking about
Don't
things
apologize.
that matter.
They know what we're doing.
Oh yeah. Well, it was an apology. It was just, you know, hey, don't assume that we're trying to be mean to you, because we encourage discourse. We encourage it.
Yeah. No salt. Yeah, we don't want no salt.
No salt.
This is the point.
Only salt on my steaks, because I have to make sure I get electrolytes. I peed 4 times last night, Craig.
You're gonna be peeing a lot.
Holy cow!
Because you're gonna be constantly keeping yourself hydrated.
I'm afraid to drink before I go to bed now, because I'm like, no, I don't
I'm in all honesty, be prepared, because your bladder will be changing.
Dude, I need to just get a little pee jug, like
little pee jug, like those old school
look at the hospitals.
Like, pea jug, or like those canisters, or like
chamber pots.
Those guys, like that guy from like Blood Moon, that terrible 90s that pees in that coffee thermos.
Gosh.
All right, you guys, thank you guys so much for the support. Like, subscribe, share to other people. All of our social media is listed in the description below. And are we still on for next Friday?
We should be on for next Friday.
There's nothing planned.
I don't think so. I think I have something for Saturday, but Friday we should be a go.
We should be a go for Friday, and we'll be switching over to Metal Slug. So that'll be a fun stuff. Thanks again, you guys, for the support. Have a good rest of your night. Take care. Adios. Be safe. Stay strong, and push back against the chaos that is wokeism, because it's hot garbage. Anyway, and I will end it at that. So peace, guys. Adios.